All right, welcome back to another episode of Small Guys Podcast. Today we're doing Maestro, Bradley Cooper. First, we're going to start off with a little bit of movie news. Sunflower from Into the Spider-Verse has become the first ever single to be certified double diamond status. The track now holds the most certifications of all time.
It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, it was on the radio constantly. I remember hearing that everywhere in 2018.
I remember hearing it everywhere, but it's not even like... I feel like I didn't hear it enough in order for it to be double diamond.
Right.
And the fact that that's like the first song in history to ever do that.
Yeah.
Sway
That
Lee and
song's
Post Malone.
Yeah.
It's not
crazy.
even like it's Michael Jackson or Drake or The Weeknd or Taylor Swift.
Right, and it's made for an animated movie, too. It's not even made, you know what I mean?
That's insane.
That is cool. Channing Tatum will start in Roof Man. The film follows a robber who lived in Toys R Us store and broke into more than 60 different McDonald's, then emptied the cash registers after herding staff into the freezers. Yeah, so it's funny because months ago I watched a YouTube video on this, and it was before I knew they were making a movie or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real story. The guy really did it for years and years without getting caught. And yeah, they literally called him the Roof Man.
He lived inside of Toys R Us.
Yeah, he lived inside Toys R Us, but he'd hit McDonald's. And yeah, he'd just move all the workers into like a freezer or something. He wouldn't want to like hurt them or anything, but just to keep
he would
them.
actually like stick them up.
Right.
Oh,
but like he wouldn't actually kill anyone or do anything like that. He just wanted to rob the place constantly. Always McDonald's for some reason too. It's not like Burger King.
The same McDonald's or multiple McDonald's?
Multiple. There's over 60 he ended up doing. Yeah. So
I thought he was just living there and like no one had any idea that he was there.
Yeah, and I'm watching like they explain in the YouTube video of how he would live in a Toys R Us, like what he would do during the day and stuff like that, and how he'd like move around and stuff. It was really crazy. But he did it for it was like a couple years, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he'd shower. I think he built his own. Dude, it's crazy. So I'm excited for the movie, especially with Channing Tatum. I wonder if they'll try to go a little comedic or if it'll be dark or what.
It's got to be comedic, but
yeah.
But it says it's in a true crime movie, Roofman. Doesn't say what it's going to be, though.
Yeah, like, is it straight to the theaters? Is it on Hulu? I don't know, what to expect. I'm excited to watch it, though. Yeah. If I didn't watch that YouTube video and I read that, I'd be like, what the hell? Like, it sounds made up. It does not sound real at all.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Dune 2 is tracking to open at $65 million plus domestically for its first weekend. Pre-sales are currently pacing ahead of the advanced ticket sales for Oppenheimer.
Damn.
So we're going to see this early. What day was it? The 29th of February?
Yeah, we're seeing it the Thursday before it drops.
Okay. But that's crazy because I feel like Oppenheimer had a ton of hype.
Yeah, it did. But I mean, also, you got to think it's like, what were the numbers for Star Wars when they announced like pre-sale and all that?
Right.
Like,
well, and two, you got to think too, Barbie came out the same day, so some people went and saw that too.
Yeah, it definitely didn't help Oppenheimer.
Right.
I think if anything, Oppenheimer helped Barbie.
Right.
I think the other way around.
I think, yeah, I mean, they definitely both in some way did, but like, I think you're right. I think if it was just Oppenheimer, maybe it would have made more the first weekend at least. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're excited for that. I think that one will make a lot of money because the first one came out in 2020, and I remember I watched it on HBO Max. Wasn't Max yet, but
COVID.
Right, yeah, and all those movies are going straight to because you didn't see it in theaters, did you?
Mm-mm. I saw it at home.
Okay,
but that's the other thing too is I haven't even seen the original Dune, but I mean, obviously, what it was. Fuck, I don't know. I'm not even gonna say it, but either way, a lot of people compare it to Star Wars, which I don't. I know that one adapted from one another. I know that Dune's obviously a book, but I think that first one is good as Denis Villeneuve is, as good as that cast is. I feel like the first one was like all story, all set up leading out of this movie, which obviously makes it more hype than the first.
Right.
So I think the way that one ended, like two is going to start off, and it's just going to be like, hopefully it's good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I have high hopes for it.
I'm going to rewatch the first part.
Yeah, me too. It's like 3 hours.
Yeah, I know.
Is the second one longer than that?
I don't know. I haven't even seen the runtime, and we go see it.
I haven't either.
3 weeks.
Yeah, I watched like one trailer months and months ago, and I don't want to watch anything else because I don't.
It's
I don't want to know
166
anything.
minutes.
Oh wow, okay,
11
so over
minutes
3
longer
hours.
than the first film.
Wow, okay.
Yep. Damn.
I got to put a intermission or something.
Fuck.
That's a long time.
Yeah. These movies,
I
man. Come on.
I gotta get that
All
cup
of Disney
too.
Plus. Yeah. I'm gonna be doing to it. I think it's
The-
crazy though. I saw the Jimmy Kimmel with like the main four on stage,
yeah,
and he's like he pulls it out. They're like, "What the hell?" Like it's actually like a fucking
yeah, dude, and people struggle to get their hand out of it.
yeah, I know. So that's
It's only at
hilarious.
AMC though, but I want
Really?
one really bad. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure
I
you'll
would
get
pay
one.
top dollar for it. So, uh,
You bet.
the first poster for Invincible Season 2 Part 2 released. It premieres March 14th on Prime Video. So it's still over a month away from when we're doing this, when we're recording this.
Yep.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah,
And we got the last
100%.
episode. Didn't we get the last episode around Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
Or
but
beginning
that's
of
the thing
December?
is, like, remember we were like, if you go back and listen to our episode, we were like, no one confirmed that they were breaking it up into two parts. Like, they
Right.
confirmed it after the fact. Like, they just let other
Yeah.
people announce it. They never.
Yeah, it's like rumored in a
officially-
way.
Yeah, it was rumored, and they just officially they never officially announced it, which doesn't
Right.
make any sense. But that kind of pisses me off. I mean, I feel like I lost hype for it. Like, yeah, you're excited for it, but like, it is what it is.
Yeah, you kind of almost have to rewatch the last episode again. Not that it was bad at all. It was a really good episode, but it's
No.
like now you kind of have to get that momentum back
Yeah, 100%.
with 4 months in between. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Like,
upcoming
especially
Disney.
only being 4 episodes, bro. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I wish we were getting at least 10 total for the whole season, but yeah, we're only getting a month of it, and that's done in April. So, Disney made like a huge announcement about upcoming stuff. Disney and Pixar sequels. This year, it's Inside Out 2 and Moana 2. 2025, it's Zootopia 2, and then 2026 is Frozen 3 and Toy Story 5.
I would watch Zootopia 2.
Yeah, so most of the first movies of these have made $1 billion. I think Frozen 2 made $1 billion. Toy Story 4 did really well. So it's like, and I know Toy Story 3 made $1 billion. Do you think most of these will make $1 billion or
Easily, 100%.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know if they made $1 billion because they were on stream or they were like kids were going to the movie theaters.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know. I think it'll.
I mean, since COVID, it's been hard to hit $1 billion.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also the fact that like people would much rather like, especially with little kids, it's a pain in the ass dragging your kid or 2 or 3 to the movies.
Right.
But I mean, they're still gonna go see them as long as they drop them strategically and not all on top of each other. They'll easily pass $1 billion.
Yeah, or like with Elemental came out like in July, right in the middle of like the Flash and all those
Did that
movies.
one do good or no?
It did all right. It actually got nominated for an Oscar. I liked it, but like it actually like started off really bad box office wise because it was the week before Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Yeah.
It was July 15th, so it was like the week before. So it was just a bad time to come out. So like you're saying, if they drop it strategically, I think they'll make money. And then I want to hear your take on this. Disney's releasing 2 Star Wars films in 2026, 2 of them. One is May 22nd, one's December 18th. One is the Mando Grogu movie, and then the other one's based around Rey.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've heard like multiple rumors about them. In the Mandalorian one, I understand what they're trying to do, but I don't know. I mean,
are you excited for either?
I'm excited for them. I'm 100% going to watch them first day, but it's just the fact like you only know Mando from the television shows, and like I mean, I'm sure they're going to do a good job with it, but you know, like you're used to that story being told episode per episode. Like, it's
well, you got to think Dave Filoni's involved, right? For that, he's got to be.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
And but then the Rey, I don't know what that like. They said that that's going to take like 30 to like how was it like 30 to 50 years in the future, and like Rey is starting a new Jedi Order. So I mean, like, I don't know. Like,
Damn.
what are they, a bunch of kids just have midichlorians? They're all force sensitive now. It doesn't.
Right.
I don't know. I'm curious. I'm honestly more hyped for that, just to see like,
just see what it is.
Yeah, but I think Dave Filoni. I think if as long as Dave Filoni has a hand in the pot, like it's not going to be bad. Like,
yeah, I wonder which one. I wonder which one will be in December because it didn't like clarify.
Yeah.
Because I feel like usually the Star Wars movies come out at the end of the year, so it's weird that we're getting one in May. Um,
Wait,
Especially not
what year did you say that? 2025?
2026. There's
Oh
two,
shit,
so they both are in the same year.
that's weird.
Um, yeah, about 6-7 months apart. So yeah, I don't know why they didn't just push one back a
Yeah,
year. I don't know, but we'll see.
we're getting an Andor season 2. I don't know if you saw that.
Right?
They
Yeah, is that
confirmed that.
this year or next year? It's got
No,
to be
probably next
2025,
year.
probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think they just
Um.
started filming it, or they just finished writing it.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Yeah, one or the other.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
The first trailer for A Quiet Place Day 1 has been released. It comes out in theaters June 28th.
Fuck yeah,
Dude, it looked good.
dude, it's gonna be so good. And you got to think
Yeah.
that John Krasinski literally wrote the first one, A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Then like now we're getting a third installment. Like it's
Yeah,
insane.
and I like how
The
he's doing
prequel.
ways. He's making ways where he can be in them
Yeah.
still.
Oh yeah.
Like he was in
100%.
the second one at the very beginning as a flashback, and now he's in this one a little bit too. But it's
Yeah.
not mainly focused on him, which I like.
Yeah.
Because after the first one, we were all like, well, we want to see what the world looks like when they attacked and stuff like that. And you kind of saw it a little bit in the second one. But now in this movie, it's like, this is from other people's perspectives. And it's really
Yeah.
cool. And how they figure out to be quiet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
And you see
I'm excited.
like how different it is from one to the third one.
Right.
The fact that there's like 1,000 like aliens, whatever you want to call them, like running around everywhere. And
Yeah.
then when you go to like the actual movie, like 1 and 2, you don't see as many. So maybe they learn like how to kill most of them off or do something with them in order to like, reduce the population. But I don't know. I'm excited for it.
Right, dude. And at the end of the trailer, when they're like scaling down the fucking skyscrapers,
Yep.
it's so
Or right in the
scary.
glass lobby.
Yeah.
And I
There's
mean,
so
you
many
gotta
of
think like
them.
I remember watching Quiet Place 1, like that shit was scary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like it wasn't
Because you didn't know what to
just like
expect.
yeah, no. And then especially when they're like face to face with those things, like you have no idea what they are. It's crazy
Right.
that the CGI is that good on them. For being
Yeah,
like
I mean,
I don't
and
know
you got
what
to think they got a
studio
bigger
picked it up.
budget.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because
But
you know these make a lot of money. So it's like, here's a bigger budget.
yeah. And the fact that they I mean you gotta think like John Krasinski got obviously Emily Blunt is the wife his wife in the movie.
Right.
And in the first one he dies. Second one, Cillian Murphy comes in and plays like the antagonist or whatever you want to call it. Like he's basically the main guy.
Right.
And then they end up doing Oppenheimer, both being nominated for Oscars.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then this is the last one we got here. Argyle bombed in the box office, making 18 million domestic. Expected film budget and marketing was about 260 million.
Holy
So
shit! It did
yeah, so
16 or 18.
18
Holy
domestically.
fuck!
Yeah, so it's a lot lower than what they're
I
hoping.
mean, dude, if we're being honest, it came at an awful time.
Yeah.
Like I feel
Well,
like
you'd
there
think
was like
nothing's
as
out
much.
right now, really.
Yeah, but I mean that's why. Like there's no reason for like people to go to the movies. If they're going to the movies and then they see a preview for that's already there, then they're gonna be like, all right, like we'll come back. Let's plan next Tuesday.
Yeah, and it is an Apple Plus or Apple
That's
TV
probably why.
movie technically. The cast is star-studded: Bryce Dallas Howard, Dua Lipa, Henry Cavill, Sam
Those
Rockwell,
movies,
John Cena.
dude. All those past movies haven't done well at all.
Right. So yeah.
Amsterdam
So
didn't do good. Fuck, what was the one where Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie?
oh yeah, that came out at the beginning of last year.
Yeah, it was like the L.A. one, the Hollywood one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know what you're talking
But
about. We
either
never got
way, I
around to
mean, dude,
reviewing it
like those
'cause-
stat casts don't do good anymore. Like, obviously, Dune's gonna do good because it's an action movie.
right,
Like,
and
this is
it's
an
based
action
off
too, but
something
it's
too.
like, yeah, and like, but I remember seeing the trailer and like John Cena and Dua Lipa dancing, like even him ripping her off the bike, like everything looked fake.
Right.
It looked
Yeah.
really cheesy. But you saw it, so let me know what you think.
Yeah. I mean, it was Matthew Vaughn who made it. Who made
Yo,
the Kingsman
which are
movies.
great movies.
Right. And the second one, a lot of people didn't like it. I kind of liked it. So
The
like,
second one was with the girl, right?
yeah.
And
And
Elton
I mean, the
John
first
all that.
one's great. Yeah, the first one's great.
Samuel L. Jackson, dude. That's easily
Yeah,
one
and
of my
he's
favorite
in
ones.
this too. And so like a lot of people don't like this movie because it's getting bad reviews and stuff. Obviously, it wasn't making a lot of money. I went and saw it. I kind of didn't like it, if I'm being honest.
You
So
didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
Would you? Why?
Dude, it's just like it's all over the place. Tries to
Yeah.
confuse you. It's just a mess, and it's like it tries to be Kingsman, like the action, but it's not.
So, but
It's
they're tied, correct?
yeah. Without getting spoilers, there is an end credit scene that alludes to something. I won't say anything else on top of that. Clearly, people aren't going to see this, so maybe they don't care if there's spoilers.
No, I mean,
But
I was thinking about seeing it, but I probably will never see it.
yeah, dude, it's completely bombed. It's unfortunate. Because Apple's one of those companies where they have so much money they can try this weird shit and see if it sticks. Because
Yeah.
it is a brand new IP, like it doesn't exist. You know what I mean? So like,
Mhm.
I like movies like that, but the fact that it just wasn't that good for me, if I'm being honest. Now, my brother saw it; he really liked it. I just was not a fan of it. And like I said, I actually enjoyed the Kingsman 2. Because they are similar in certain aspects with like over the top action that's like not even believable, whereas the Kingsman
Yeah.
1 was more realistic. And this is also PG-13 where those are rated R, so like at least the action in those movies you could enjoy more. Whereas in
Bloody
this, the
hell.
action scenes are cool, but like there's no blood at all. It's unbelievable. So,
Yeah, no.
but yeah, so we probably won't review it. I know we talked about maybe reviewing it, but it's not doing well. It's we just shit on it the whole time, and maybe that's entertaining to listen to, but it's just not really worth it. And it's really long. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes almost. It's like
Jeez.
yeah, it's about 30-40 minutes too long. So,
Yeah.
um,
No, that like just looking at it and like even when I saw the trailer when we went to the theater, it's like one of those Netflix movies. I know that
right,
Apple took care of it, but like that's just something one night you're scrolling on Netflix, you just click on it.
yeah, because you see a good cast, and you
Yeah, but
think
you're like, oh shit, like I forgot about this movie. Let's try it out, and then it's just
right,
ass.
but you have this director that has done good movies in the past that's
Yeah.
somewhat similar to it, and you get excited because the cast is so good, and then it ends up being like that. So a little disappointing, but
Hmm.
um, to get into a next Netflix movie, we're reviewing Maestro now. Uh, it's been nominated for a few different Oscars. We'll go over it. The bio is this love story chronicles the lifelong relationship of conductor-composer Leonard Bernstein and actress Felicia Montealegre Cohn Bernstein. It's got a 80% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, but a 59% audience score. It's 2 hours, 9 minutes. Biography, drama. Now it's written, directed by, produced by, starring Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Um, I think who was it? Was it Martin Scorsese or was it Spielberg that were producers
Both.
on it as well? Oh, both of them. Okay,
Both of them.
yeah. So
Yeah. So
we heard this, we got excited. We knew it was nominated for multiple things. I think Bradley Cooper got nominated. Carey Mulligan got nominated. The costumes got nominated. Um, the writing got nominated. So it's been nominated. I think it's nominated for 5 things. I want to say off the top of my head from me
looks
looking over the
like
list.
best
So,
picture, best actor leading role, best actress in leading role.
mm-hmm.
Um, that's it. Just three.
Oh, it's not writing.
Nope.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like
Or
writing or screenplay or
best
something.
director. Just best picture.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah. So it's nominated for a few
Oh,
different
never mind.
things. Oh, is there
I'm
more?
tripping. Yeah. Best makeup and hairstyle.
Okay.
Best cinematography. Uh, best writing.
Okay.
Screenplay. I think that's it.
Okay. So about 6 or 7
Yeah.
things.
So
Yeah. So we had a lot of high hopes for it. I want to know your thoughts for it. So far, I've seen most of the nominated things. I want to say I'm at like 60% of the way there yet so
yeah.
far
Same.
for things I've seen. And there's a few different kind of like I mean this is like a love story romance. There is a few different romance movies that have been nominated. Um, I kind of want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
But I think this is on the lower end for me compared to the other films that have been nominated that I've seen so far.
100%. But yeah, no, I mean, obviously, I remember Bradley Cooper like saying that he was working on it. It was getting like rumored and stuff that he was doing um, like a classic, like a different type of movie that he's not used to doing, and he did this. I remember knowing that he was writing, directing, producing all that. I had no idea that Scorsese and Spielberg had their hands in it either.
Hmm.
But I feel like I can see more Scorsese than I can Spielberg.
Yeah.
Just like the way that the camera angles are and stuff like that. But I mean, dude, Bradley Cooper, what is this second, third movie that he's like done everything for?
Right. Yeah.
Like, dude, it's insane. Like, just the camera angles, the way that just everything, the movie flows. Like I feel
Right.
like he's doing a great job. And but no, I mean this. I had, if I'm being dead honest, I don't listen to classical music. Sorry, anyone out there. You know, obviously people do
You
enjoy
liked
that. And
Whiplash though.
what? Yeah.
You liked Whiplash.
Yep. And that's different. That's like making of the music instead of
Right.
composing it or conducting it, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So like I had no intentions on watching this movie. I had no hype behind it. Other than the fact that it had a good cast. Bradley Cooper did all that, did everything for it, and I watched. It took me like 2 days to watch this movie. Um, the opening was it took me a minute to get an understanding of what I was watching, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, I'm watching. Bradley Cooper looks identical, but I'll finish off with that. Um, just the fact, and I think that he did this because he wanted to do it for his dad. I don't know if you watched any
Oh,
of the interviews or something like that, but
I
like,
didn't.
I guess his dad was like a huge Leonard Bernstein like fan growing up, doing whatever. Like that was his guy, and he did this just for his dad. And look at it; it's
Hmm.
nominated for 7 different categories or
Yeah.
6. But yeah, I mean, me going in, not watching the trailer, not knowing anything about it, I literally had no idea. And watching it, I was kind of skeptical in the first half, and then I think the turning point for me was when, um, you know, Leonard and Felicia started, butting heads on like their marriage, because like it's obviously hinted at throughout the entire film, but like then you catch them at the party, and Leonard's obviously bisexual,
Right.
and he's married, has kids, has a wife, but doesn't show any affection or anything towards his wife. And it's just, it kind of shows her perspective of just getting bashed and belittled, and pushed to like the corner, and just not getting any attention, even though she loves Leonard, loves the family that they created together. So, and that's what kind of spiked the movie up too, because you see him, she's there, she's obviously like a number one actress from Peru, was that what it was, or
I think
Chile?
so. Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. So obviously they're two very known, very respected, very
Famous.
famous people in their own professions.
Right.
So, but no, I mean, I honestly enjoyed it. I think that like just the way that Bradley Cooper was acting was badass. Obviously the girl, I'm
Carey
forgetting
Mulligan.
her name, Carrie Mulligan. We just recently saw her in Saltburn.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I feel like she didn't get too much, like she didn't get too much screen time in Saltburn, but like she definitely deserves to get nominated for this. Bradley Cooper, 100%.
Yeah, because she's as main of a character as he is
Mhm.
in this movie.
If
So,
not more,
right.
she has more like personal scenes than he does.
Right.
Yeah, but
And that's what
no, I
makes you
mean,
feel for her and stuff like that. I, you know, I kind of compared it like I really enjoyed the second half a lot more than the first for some
100%.
reason. It's not because it's in black and white. I actually like the way the
They
editing
tell
for
the
the movie
story.
worked. Right. Yeah. It's like it starts in black and white. Then as they get older, there's color, and then as we get to the end of the movie, the aspect ratio changes to like full screen. Right. So I really liked stuff like that. That was really cool, and it's not like jumping back and forth like an Oppenheimer would. Even though I love the way that movie handled that, but like in this movie, I like that it kind of did it in chronological order that way.
Yeah,
My one gripe with it too at the beginning is I kind of hate that they started with him old telling his story about how he misses his wife.
yeah, because then you know that she's gonna die somehow.
Right. Yeah. So it's like I think it would have caught me way more off guard to figure out she's sick later on in the movie
Mhm.
out of the blue than it like me expecting something to happen. Now he's really old in this movie at the very beginning, so it's like maybe she just died of old age. But like for me, I thought that he lost her years and years before, which he does,
Yeah.
and so I kind of wish that didn't happen at the beginning. I wish it would have just started black and white and would have again
No,
like that.
I do agree with you, because now that like you think about it, and obviously it starts with color. He's old, being interviewed, doing his, I don't know what they're called, um, one of
It,
the
it seemed like a
songs that he
documentary
wrote.
interview
Yeah,
thing.
and that's what
Yeah,
it was. And then then it obviously just starts from the very beginning. They meet, it's black and white, and you see them age up until that point where they become older, and obviously it's in color again. And then at that point, it seems like it was lazy, for being honest.
right.
I mean, it worked and it was good, but I think it's lazy. Like, we've seen too many of those where, hey, let's start with the ending and then finish at the ending.
Yeah, and
Just
it's
tie it
supposed to seem
all up.
like he's telling us the story of their love life, which
Yeah,
I completely understand. But like I said, it just like kind of spoils it a little bit.
yeah, 100%.
So
Yeah.
especially if you're not too familiar with him, and I wasn't going
No.
into it.
That's why it still kind of caught me off guard that she was sick and that she passed. Because
Yeah,
if you would have known the story, then you'd have been waiting for it.
yeah, and at the beginning of the movie, you're like figuring out about all these characters, his friends, family, stuff like that. But like, I feel like the second half, when you really shows once they're married and have family, it really shows like the divide between them. Him not paying enough attention to her, you know, people catching his eye, stuff like that. Like that stuff was more interesting to me in the second half of the movie than it was in
Yeah.
the first, for me
Mhm.
personally. So, I definitely enjoyed the second half of the movie a little bit more than the first. I did like all the scenes of them like together. Like it was nice just kind of seeing their love story start.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I just personally enjoyed the second half more. Is that how you felt about it?
Yeah, no, I mean the beginning, like I said, was kind of slow,
Yeah.
but because I mean we were in the same boat, we didn't know what was going on, and I didn't know if like he had a huge scandal that like this was made up of. Like, I was waiting for that. I didn't know what to expect. But
Right.
then once we got towards the middle of the movie, the halfway point, that's when you start getting a feel and an understanding for what's going on, and then that's kind of when it shifts from Leonard's perspective to uh, is it
Felicia's.
Felicia's
Hmm.
perspective. Going
Right.
through her being on the sidelines while he's bringing all these young guys over, doing all this stuff, and obviously it takes a turn on their marriage, and it affects the kids because the
Right.
mom, remember the one daughter being
Maya Hawk.
Maya Hawk, she she's
Here's
like,
rumors.
your daughter's hearing rumors of you, and he makes it
Yeah.
so obvious,
Right.
like, just from watching that. And I know it's like, it is what it
People are
is.
jealous of me.
Yeah.
So I said,
And then
well,
again, like, even at that one point when she shows up to his uh final orchestrate, whatever you want to call it.
yeah.
After she was done, she put his shit outside and all that. Um, he goes, he's hugging her, kissing her. She's like, "You don't have a mean bone in your body." So then at that point, I'm like, all right, maybe like he's just a genius, just like Beethoven or anything like that. And he's just
Hmm.
he literally loves everyone, like men
Right.
or women. Like, this guy, just maybe he's just super nice. But then you understand at the end of the movie that, like, no, like, he obviously, I don't know.
Just a
We can
horny
get into
guy.
the ending if you want. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's horny,
Well,
and
yeah,
he
I
said
want
that
to.
it helps his music. He
Right.
said that like what he does against his wife's back or behind her back, even though she knows, it allows him to be free, and it allows him to create the shit that he creates. I don't know.
Right. But that could easily be an excuse too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the way that he was talking, man, cracked me the fuck up. Like, when she
Yeah.
was at
So
the doctor's and stuff,
yeah. So
he
like,
was like, "Oh, thank you. Oh, that's fine."
that's fun. Yeah. What did you think of the acting in this? Because I feel like it was amazing, especially Bradley Cooper.
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, the voice he was doing,
Yeah.
it
No.
was
Hundred
it sounded
percent.
like nothing like him. Especially when he's older, dude. When he's like
Yeah.
older, he's got the makeup on, which the makeup looked good.
The makeup looked
But
really
like,
good.
yeah, the makeup and then like the voice, like you couldn't even tell it was him anymore,
No.
which is crazy
And
to
that's why
think.
when he first popped up, I was like squinting at it because I had to watch it on my phone, of course, because of fucking shitty Netflix. But
Yeah.
I go and like, right when I saw him at the beginning, I'm like, oh shit, like, we got to go back in time. Like, there's no way
Right.
he's in that makeup the whole time. But
The
he
whole time.
looked like, like, you look at him, you're like, oh shit, that actually is Bradley Cooper under there, especially hidden under that voice that he was doing.
Yeah, dude, it's the voice, it's the mannerisms, like the way he walks. Like he completely took over this character, this guy,
Yeah,
and so yeah, I think he did like a phenomenal job.
100%.
He had me
I could
totally
honestly see
convinced.
him working or winning something for this.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
kind of hope
Oscars, like they eat those like biopics up for sure.
they do. They do.
Yeah,
And with them being nominated for 6 or 7 of them, I hope they at least win one. I do think
yeah.
they deserve one.
Hmm.
Although this isn't my favorite of the Oscar
No,
options, I do think it'll win one or two. We'll see. So,
yeah. I think
um,
out of like all the ones that we've seen so far, like obviously Killian Murphy deserves it.
right.
But I would honestly say like this might be second. But I don't even know the guy, and that's the other part that I want to get to is like
Yeah.
I've never even heard of this guy, Leonard Bernstein. I'm sure
Hmm.
like we've heard something like in a movie or something, one of his songs or something that he wrote. But my score, like at the end of this movie, I was like, all right, I had a score in mind, and then I was like literally about to click X on the thing. Then the credits start rolling, and you see. I don't know if you watched that. Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, I
You
did.
watch the credits, and Leonard
Yeah.
Bernstein is up there composing or conducting,
Yeah.
and I'm like, holy fuck! Like I thought it
Yeah.
was
And it looked
Bradley
just like
Cooper.
him too.
It looked
Yeah.
identical to him, and then I'm sitting there
Yeah.
watching it. I even replayed it, and I was like studying. I'm like, all right, now I got to give him props for this because
Right.
I had no idea what the guy looked like. I just assumed he was just an old white guy with white hair.
Yeah. And I'm
Like seeing
assuming
him
in that.
sweat and do all that shit, like
Yeah, I'm assuming in like the 2 hour 10 minutes they try to get it as accurate as possible. I'm not completely sure on it because like you said, we don't really know much about him.
yeah,
Um, and I don't know if this is like kind of based off a book too. I'm not too sure, but yeah, it felt real like watching him, especially in the end.
definitely.
But yeah, do you want? I think a really big scene that I think we should hit on is when they figure out she's sick, that she has
Yeah,
cancer. Because that scene too, like that really drove it home how good the acting is from
hundred
both of
percent.
them.
Yeah, and even the
Like
way
her,
like she starts crying at that point, and him
right?
like, and even the fact, what was the other one? That scene was good.
When the kids are come over and visit her when she's
Yeah, that like when she goes, she starts crying that she doesn't want any visitors. But when Bradley Cooper or Leonard goes into the office and cancels his show, and then
yeah,
screams and cries in the pillow,
yeah,
I thought that was a good scene too. Because
yeah,
obviously, like as much as he's, I mean, and that's the thing. At that point of the movie, like you think that he had a change of heart. Like, all right, he's gonna spend her final days. Like he's gonna be alongside her, and then like he's gonna mourn, do whatever. But then we see at the end of the movie that he's running around with a young guy again,
yeah.
living youthful.
Who's
You
about
know,
50 years younger than him?
yeah, doing the exact same thing while his wife is obviously passed away. And then I love that final shot
Right.
where like
Yeah.
he obviously like he's explaining the piano to like the cameras and all that, and he's
Hmm.
like, yeah, like, or he's like, any other questions? And that's when he like basically announces like, yeah, like I feel youth in the things that I do, basically saying that running around with these guys allows him to be a genius. um but then he goes and he says, or then it cuts to his wife in black and white, like when she was young, had hair and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
dude.
think
It
it's kind of
was.
dark.
Yeah, and like even the scene where she passes, when they're on the bed together and the daughter just runs outside. Like I thought that whole scene was great too.
Yeah, it was so good.
So
Especially she's like
yeah,
just she's not even like making words; she's just making noise.
yeah.
Yeah, but no,
Damn.
I
And
think, I
and
think she
they-
did a
and
good
they're
job.
making it seem like too when they're at the doctors that she could make it through this, right?
Yeah,
And but like again that's one of the issues I have with the beginning of the movies. I knew right then and there she was making it.
yeah. But
You
I
know what
mean,
I mean?
also you can take it in like another way too. Is that obviously she was pretty, she was beautiful, and it allowed her to
Right.
be successful in the like in Hollywood, Broadway, whatever she was doing. And then obviously you see it taking a turn on her when she's going through chemo. She's bald, all that stuff, and then she doesn't want any visitors. And then she still is upset with Leonard, seeing that he's young, he's still healthy, even as much as he smokes, everything that he's done to her, and then she still gets this in the end. Like she still gets
Right.
sick and she dies. So, like,
Yeah, like
I don't
she's
know.
been the
It's kind
loyal
of like
good one.
haunting. Yeah,
Yeah, she's been the loyal good one, and then like this something that bad happens to her, not
yeah,
him.
hundred
Right.
percent.
Yeah. No, and I definitely I felt for her there. Like her whole character is just heartbreaking completely. So
Yeah,
um but yeah, I like the ending a lot from what you said. And then too, I'm happy that they did that credit scene the way they did as well,
hundred
where they
percent.
show something
Yeah,
real
and I
like
mean, I
that.
don't know if you watched it, but like the one where Leonard's literally going nuts, like doing a bunch of random shit. Like
Hmm.
Bradley Cooper did that identical. Like he studied everything.
Right.
Yeah, like every move was just spot on.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
you can
it was
clearly see all
crazy.
the hard work he put into this.
Yeah, hundred
And too,
percent.
like the camera angles and shots. I know you mentioned it earlier. That was great. The actual like soundtrack, the score of it, like
Yeah.
incredible. So,
Oh yeah.
um, yeah. Do you want to get into scores?
Yeah. I can start off. Yeah, I mean, all in all, I'm not going to repeat myself, but I think it definitely deserves the nominations that it got.
Yeah.
This is going to be a tough year for like anyone that's nominated because obviously we've had a lot of good movies last year. Um, but yeah, I think Bradley Cooper did a great job. I think why do I keep forgetting her name? Cunning, Cunningham,
Oh, Carrie Mulligan.
Carrie Mulligan. Fuck.
Hmm.
I think she did a great job, even being like I don't know. I really don't know what to say, but going to this movie blind, I think it's a must watch. Like, I mean, it's a good watch for people that enjoy movies like we do and are obviously excited for the Oscars and even Bradley Cooper fans. Because I mean, you got to think like he didn't do too much dancing in A Star Is Born, but in this one, he's doing like the classic on stage. When he's in the milkman suit, like shit like that, like like
Yeah, and
he's
even
doing
like
like
Silver
running.
Linings Playbook too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right.
and
Right.
stuff like that. So I mean, it's funny to see him do that, and I mean, it all kind of started with A Star Is Born. Like
Right.
like we would have never gotten this. I feel like.
No,
But
probably not.
another thing I do want to mention before I give my score is,
Hmm.
I read an article today with like the family, like the three kids or two or three kids, and they said that Bradley Cooper wanted to do it because of his dad. He was a huge fan of Leonard Bernstein, um, and he made sure that he got approval from each one of the kids on like showing them this, and like they all said yeah, like that's fine after they like talked about it, and they were saying like Bradley Cooper could have done it like every other director does, and like hey thanks, and then go ran off, did whatever he wanted, made a
Yeah.
shit ton of money off of it, but he said that he had them like alongside the entire journey. So like, and it was weird for them, like especially seeing it as like a final product, like on screen, um, like it didn't feel real,
Yeah.
like to them, like they're reliving their childhood through a movie.
Right.
Like
Right.
imagine doing that, like that'd be
Yeah.
insane. Imagine watching everything that you remember in life happen, and then I don't know. And I
That'd
mean,
be yeah.
especially as like adults too, like seeing like, oh, my dad's an asshole, my mom's a bitch, shit like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I
especially too
feel like
back then, being bisexual, is a lot
yeah.
different than now,
But then
right?
again,
So
like even 100%, and even watching that though, like I feel like it was very, uh, like it was out there, Like
right.
remember when she said that she could have married this other guy and she had a crush on him, and then
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, and it was like this guy. I was nervous when he came up to me and he wanted to get with another guy. So like
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I think it was a great movie. I think I don't know about rewatch factor. I mean, maybe if like I was showing someone this and they're a Bradley Cooper fan, whatever, or Leonard Bernstein fan, or a Felicia Bernstein fan, um, I'd recommend it. But no, I give props to everyone that was involved in this. I would love to see like a breakdown of Scorsese, Spielberg, and Cooper like all sitting down talking about like what they
Oh, that'd
did
be cool. Yeah, that'd
exactly.
be sick.
Yeah, but all in all, I think I feel confident giving this. I'll go 75. 75 out of 100.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just because
I'm not
I
too far from there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Um, yeah, literally everything you said. I think the acting, it like the beginning of the half dragged for me a little bit, but the
Mhm.
acting, the score, the story Bradley wanted to tell, I think it was amazing, and I'm interested to see like I know Mike is a huge fan of Bradley Cooper, right? So I wonder from his perspective if he would have enjoyed this slightly more than me and you because of the performance being so electric, right?
Yeah.
So that's all interesting and everything like that. I think I'm gonna go with the 72. I don't think I probably will rewatch it, unless I want to show someone a clip of like Bradley Cooper when he's a little bit older.
Yeah.
Um, in those scenes, just to see like someone's perspective of being like, wow, that's Bradley Cooper. It's like, yeah, he did a great job. So, and again, I'm happy that they are nominated for so many things. I do hope they win one because I do think he deserves it for sure. So it'll be interesting to see. Speaking of nominations for the Oscars, we're gonna have a pre-Oscars show like picks where we make our picks. I think it'd be kind of fun. I haven't mentioned this to you guys yet. We can see if we can do it or not. But we all make our picks for that episode, and then we're doing a post Oscars episode talking about who won and everything like that. I say we review who had the worst scores, who got the least amount right, and basically give them a punishment. Like maybe they have to do a 5-minute segment in the podcast where they're alone talking to the camera or something like that. Something funny like that. 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. Maybe they have to do their own movie news and have no one talk to them. Something funny.
How about the punishment is when we do the final episode, like
Yeah.
where we obviously like the picks are in.
Right.
That person has to announce the entire podcast, like they're hosting the show.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah. And they do it alone, so they have no one to bounce off.
Yeah, but
that'd be
like,
so
all
funny.
right, guys, welcome to the final, or so and so. They just gotta act like that.
Yeah, they open the episode, they do that.
100%.
Like that'd be funny. Yeah, and then the rest of the episode could be normal. Yeah, that would be funny.
The nominations, they have to read all the categories, shit like that. I think that.
Yeah, because dude, as I'm watching more of these and I'm looking at the noms, I'm thinking in my head I'm gonna get a lot of these right this year. I feel confident in my picks, so I'm excited to do it.
But also, this is another year where like one movie's gonna take everything, and that's like
Right.
I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but it does. Like the ones that I remember is Parasite, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and now I mean obviously Oppenheimer's gonna take a shit ton of them, so I think that's gonna be like a clean sweep.
All Quiet on the Western Front won a lot.
Yeah,
I think 4, but yeah, no, I'm excited for it. It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, we're doing a lot of these. Another one I really want to see. That's not streaming yet. Yeah, American Fiction. I want to watch that. Which that's coming to streaming. Actually, it should be on streaming now when we're recording this. Now. Is it?
Yeah.
That is one we're doing. The other one I want to see is Poor Things.
Yeah, Poor Things 100% I have to see.
Yeah, that's nominated for a lot, and I think they can win one too, from what I've heard. But yeah, American Fiction has a ton. It's got great Rotten Tomato reviews. Yeah. It's been nominated for a few different things. So I think they're both in theaters right now.
That one, yeah, they're both. Poor Things and American Fiction are both in theaters right now.
Okay, I saw American Fiction supposed to come to streaming soon.
Rustin's the one that's on Netflix. It just got released.
Yes. Yeah.
And then
Netflix has a few of them on there now that are Oscar nominated.
Yeah. Look at Jeffrey Wright's in both Rustin and American Fiction.
Yeah, there's May December 2, which is on Netflix. That got nominated for one thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's writing or screenplay.
For me personally, I have to watch Poor Things and Killers of the Flower Moon. Like those are my two I must watch.
That's on Apple TV right now.
Yeah. So
Killers of the Flower Moon. Yeah, that will win something, I'm sure. I watched Past Lives. That was pretty good. I liked it. Me and Sydney watched it. Past Lives.
Yeah, I don't think that Killers is gonna win that much.
I don't know. We'll see. I think it could win costume design or something like that. I do.
Yeah, I mean, I have to watch it.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm excited to do the picks though. I think a punishment would be fun, just something fun to do, and it would be funny too if you're listening to it. But yeah, so we'll be back next week. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yep. Thank you. Peace out.